Alright, hey everybody, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and in this video I want to talk about the new Onyx software from Elation/Obsidian Control Systems. I want to kind of debunk any of those myths and rumors and just kind of share what's going on with it. Because, about a month ago, a little bit less than a month ago, they unveiled this software and the name of it and all that jazz, and there's been some confusion online, and I've seen it. And so I just wanted to make a video to let you guys know what's going on with this software, what the future looks like, and how it affects you, especially if you were an MPC user. So, first things first, Onyx is a new version of the MPC software that was purchased by Elation Professional Lighting. Okay? Now, what they decided to do, they knew they had to rebrand it because they did not get to buy the name in the deal, and they decided to put it under its own umbrella called Obsidian Control Systems. So when you see the Obsidian logo and see obsidiancontrol.com, that's a branch of Elation, and they decided to do that because they really want to turn it into, it is a full product line as the consoles are, and they want to, separate it that way, and that's totally understandable. So it's not that the console got bought again or anything like that. It got bought back in March by Elation. They quickly called it Elation MPC for a couple months. Now they've got this new name, Obsidian Control Systems, as the company that owns it under Elation, and Onyx is the name of the consoles and the software. Now, the consoles, if you've used them in the past, an M1 or an M6 or an M-Touch or an M-Play, they're still named with the M's, okay? For now, at least. We'll wait and see what comes of that. But it's important to note that everything new, this new version of the software is fully compatible with your old hardware. So as long as your hardware was compatible with M Series 3.7, I believe we were in, before this change happened to move us up to 4.0, it's still compatible. So pretty much anything newer than a Max's compact unit, which is a pretty old console, is compatible. And that's one of the things that I've always loved since I first learned and kind of got indoctrinated into M Series a few years ago, is that they work really hard to keep things compatible as long as possible. So old school wings for the Max's consoles and that stuff, they're still compatible today. The actual consoles themselves, the old ones, they're not all compatible simply because the hardware, the computer inside them, can't run the new software and be reliable. But the team keeps these things, they keep the consoles compatible as long as possible. And the other hardware, like the M-Touch and stuff like that, there's really no end in sight for them. They should stay compatible for a long time. And that's great. And they've got that commitment. That's something that's been part of the team since they were all at Martin. And now the team has fully moved over to Elation. They all, they work there. There's even some new people. And so when I talk with them, with the folks from Elation, they're excited for this. They have big plans for this console, and I would say if you were a user before and if this scares you a little bit, you're like, I don't know what's going on here, don't be afraid, because the console was really struggling as Martin decided that they didn't want to necessarily keep up a console anymore. And selling it off and having a vibrant company like Elation buying it is a really good thing. I don't know if you've used Elation gear, but if you haven't used it recently, they make some really solid stuff. Like those 6-pars, I run into them a lot on corporate events, and they're just a solid unit. They work well, they take RDM, they have good hardware, good screens, they're movers. Elation is serious about quality. You look at a company like Elation and you think, okay, 10, 15 years ago, they just made cheap DJ lights, or at least that's the perception. But that's not what they are anymore. They're real lights with real warranties, a real service department who really answers the phone and really cares. So I kind of got off track here, but in a nutshell, Onyx is here. It's fully compatible with your old stuff, and it's even better than it was before. For example, I'm going to click over here and talk about the modes that you can get in Onyx PC. So, Onyx PC is free for Universe 1 to 4 of ArtNet and SACN, and Universe 1 can be an NTEC USB device instead or as well. Now, when you plug in Onyx hardware, such as MTouch, this guy, the MPlay, a console, a one-key dongle, which I believe they're renaming to Onyx USB Key. It's all here. I'm going to have the links I talked about, such as this PC modes page, the launch FAQ. I'll have that all below this video here on YouTube. Once you move over to plug in a USB device, now Universes 1 through 4 are available for output. You can now patch through all 255 universe numbers for up to 128 universes when you plug in that Onyx USB key, which is not expensive. So call your dealer, look into it if you're curious. And so basically, the short answer is I think they've actually given a little bit more output than there was before, but they've kept basically the same licensing that is before. So if you're coming from MPC and you're not sure about all this Onyx stuff, don't worry, okay? Everything's going to be fine, and all your old stuff is still compatible, unless the console that you had, if you had one of those older consoles that wasn't compatible with the latest version of MPC, then it's not going to be, compatible with the latest version of Onyx. But everything else, fully compatible. The new software, I'll put that on the screen here. The only thing that's changed is the main menu styling. And they've made it easier to navigate, honestly. Before, on the sidebar, you had the option of like 3-section system, network, or the third one's getting to me, show. And now it's all in one menu, so you can see everything at once. It's less confusing. So ultimately, they changed the colors a little. Nothing else has changed. It all works as good as before. And they fixed some bugs that were known. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope if you've used M-Series in the past, you enjoy Onyx. Now, if you do want more info on Onyx and want to go a little bit deeper, I've actually got a free set of videos from Learn Stage Lighting Labs that you can download, and I'm going to put them on the screen here, show you where to sign up for that. Until then, make sure you subscribe and, click the bell, whoop, I think it's over there, to get the latest videos here from Learn Stage Lighting on YouTube. Thanks.